id Software. The name itself commands attention and respect throughout the games industry. This is the company that gave us Doom and Quake, arguably two of the most influential first-person shooters of all time. This is the company that is the creative output of the legendary John Carmack. Fans have been hoping and waiting for a new game from this outfit for a long time. Rage is set in the future, in a post-asteroid impact Earth that is a remnant of its former glory. Knowing the asteroid is coming, the government actually has a pretty good idea to bury Arks with cryogenically frozen people who will survive the impact and eventually wake up, set with the task to repopulate the world once it becomes livable again. The general aesthetic initially is steampunked western mixed with some Mad Max-esque vehicular combat. The settlements feel like turn-of-the-20th century outposts, the likes of which you'd see in an old John Wayne movie. As you progress through the game, though, you enter many other environments that really speak to the careful design decisions that went into this game. Now graphically, the game is stunning. The character models are top-notch, not to mention the weapon modeling as well. Even the skyboxes look like much thought and careful planning went into them to ensure the experience was both visually appealing and immersive. The textures for other areas, though, are not as high quality as I would have liked to have seen. On the topic of graphics, one more issue I'll bring to light is the texture pop-in. When I first booted the game up, I played for a couple of hours without having installed anything to the hard drive, and what I got was a lot of pop-in and texture replacement. It's not horrible, but it's definitely noticeable. So after playing for a while, I installed all 3 discs, and the texture pop-in was all but removed. You could still catch the game loading something occasionally, but it was much harder to spot, and all in all, this is not a huge concern to me, as it doesn't detract from the gameplay in any real tangible way. There was one big challenge facing the developers with Rage. How do you keep things interesting when engaging the enemies if most of them are all humanoid in nature? You have bandits, the Authority, and mutants, all of whom are bipedal and stand upright. It needs to feel different when you're engaging each enemy type, and this is where the amazing AI comes into play. Each enemy reacts differently to you, and even reacts differently to each tactic you may employ in your playthrough. Shoot a guy in the leg while he's crouching behind cover, and you'll see him crumple to the ground, grabbing his leg and shimmying to safer ground, all the while muttering or screaming about the injury. But shoot a guy who's running towards you full tilt, and you make him stumble while he keeps on the onslaught. The game is also very immersive. In one area, I defeated a rather large foe, and that's all I'll say to avoid spoilers. But a good bit later, the story I needed to head back to the same area, and the enormous corpse was still there, propped up against the crumbling building it hit. It at once made me remember the battle that I was in before, and was a very appreciated nuance to keep me immersed in the world I was in. The sound design is great. The music adds to the experience rather than seeming like it's tacked on, and the sound effects are really well done. The voice acting is great as well. For more of my opinion on this fantastic game, head to Team Xbox and check out our review.